YouTubers? Welcome back to today's edition of hashtag follow leader with your host, hashtag Tony with an I. And today I decided to change locations and come outside. I have a little extra time on my hands today, and campers are at rest hour, so we're there until 3, and I guess I need a little air. But today didn't really have any suggestions, so I decided to kind of talk about some of the experiences, how easy it can be to bring your family issues and everything that goes out in the world into camp, and how sometimes that can harm situations or it can like hide you from situations. So I wrote a little bit. Here's my journal. And I guess I'll walk around. So it says, there was a summer where I lost my aunt while I was at camp. I remember seeing a status. I remember seeing a status that said like rest in peace, and that's kind of like a bad way to know that your aunt passed away. And I remember like falling to the ground in like despair. And the worst thing about it was that there was no one there because, of course, I was at camp. But the farm animals. The farm animals that we have there are all like rescue animals. So I sat with them, and I didn't have anyone to comfort me, so the animals did that. I don't even think they even realized. I think I stayed there for hours until I found the energy to leave. I left for her funeral to come back within hours. Another summer, the day before camp, my cousin was murdered, and that was about 3 years ago, which is crazy. That situation still it's around this time actually. I think it was today, or was it yesterday, that his funeral actually was, and it was on a Saturday. So I had to deal with that kind of alone, but I had to welcome staff with eyes filled with tears and a heavy heart, because you can't really say hi to staff when you're going through some things, and you don't want them to feel sad because it's a happy occasion when you first come to camp. So the same summer, on a day off, which it was during staff week, the group that was involved in his murder, some of his friends, or some of the person's friends, shot at us. We were like celebrating. It was like a week-long kind of celebration of life, and a car was coming around like the house, and they started shooting. So not only did we lose a family member, but we had to, it's that much more. Like, someone shot, it was that much more. I dealt with it. I went to his funeral, only to return within hours back to camp. This current summer, my grandmother isn't well, and it's possibly close to her end. I hope that this story doesn't end like the previous ones. I say all this because I might get silly during some of the, YouTube moments, and I'll tell you how much I love camp and what I do. To you, it seems like, oh, she's a great person and she does great things and she seems always happy on here. But there's so many moments during camp, like, of course, it's a happy occasion, but sometimes you take some of the issues that are in the real life and you kind of bring them there, but in the end, you have so many people around you, kind of takes away from it, but it's easier to deal with, I guess. Camp I can say has definitely saved me, because when my cousin passed away, we used to go out together all the time, and like that that time I had planned on going out. Like, honestly, I planned on going out, but things happened for a reason, because sorry the people that are watching this, but I was drinking a lot and I went to sleep, and I woke up to hear that my cousin had been shot and he was deceased at that point. So yeah, camp saved me. Ironically, like, before camp starts, it's always something bad. Like, my aunt died one year, and my cousin was murdered, and those were such hard times. I mean, how can you go from such sad times to a happy place? Like, you can't, like, not do that. That just doesn't work. But to some people, it may be like, oh man, that has to be like a sign. Like, the camp is not for me. But it's it's everything that I needed. Everything I need every summer. It makes me a stronger person. It helps me through these situations. If I didn't have camp, I wouldn't have been able to deal with it. Of course, once I got out of camp, um, I had to deal with it then, and it wasn't good. I won't tell y'all that story, but my best friend knows about the story after I got out of camp and after the summer that my cousin passed away. So, like, it gives you time to, it occupies your time, and just, it's so hard to explain it. Like, camp saved me and all those situations, and I have to deal with, of course, when it's not camp, but like, I come to camp wanting to help campers and wanting to help people, because that's what I do. But at the end of the day, I come back to camp for selfish reasons, and that's because camp helps me. It's more than just children and adults that come here, and we take care of them, and we do personal care, and we just help the families, and we help everything else. But it helps me more than I help it, because it makes me a stronger person. It helps me with the situation that's going on at home, or it allows me to block out some of the situations. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of my story on that. Of course, there'll be more. And yeah, so thank you for joining me again with hashtag. I would hashtag, but I can't hashtag right now because my phone is in my hand. But hashtag thank you, hashtag follow the leader, hashtag Tony with an I, out.